Hey guys, what's up? It's Red. So it has been a long time since I've talked to you guys. I basically went on a hiatus of about a month and a half to 2 months. I did not announce it because I did not know that it was going to happen. I wanted to talk to you guys about it, and this is honestly probably the third or fourth time that I'm trying to record this video. It's very difficult for me to talk about, but I want to talk about it with you guys. I want to talk about what I've been going through and what happened, and some of you might not understand, and I'm taking that risk by posting this, but some of you guys might be able to relate and you might be able to understand, and maybe one of you will know that somebody else is going through the same thing you might also be going through. So that's why I'm making this video, and I thought of several different ways on how to do this. I thought that I could maybe do some kind of slam poetry performance, channel my thoughts and my opinions into it that way, or maybe I could script it out in this super elaborate, well thought out discussion, but none of it fit. There weren't bad ideas, but none of it fit. I almost didn't want to post a video at all, but none of it felt right, and I realized the best thing I could do was get in front of the camera and just start talking to you guys and be real with you guys. So I know a while back I actually posted a video on this, so it's not a secret on my channel, even if I don't talk about it all the time. But a while back, I posted a video using reading as an antidepressant and discussing how reading can be beneficial if you suffer from depression. And that was the first video I really posted ever talking about how I can suffer from depression and anxiety, but I haven't talked about it much since. Everybody experiences depression and anxiety in different ways, sometimes in similar ways. I might not go through a 365-day-a-year depression, but when I hit my episodes, everything feels like I've been tugged into this black hole of feeling of awful. How it feels. Sometimes it can be triggered by a situation, by a person, and sometimes there is no trigger. There is such thing as situational depression, and I have had that happen before, but this was not one of those episodes for me. This was out of nowhere. Everything was going fine. I was actually, happy enough with work. I was ready for school. I have only a couple semesters left. Things were going great with my friends. Everything was going well, and there wasn't any huge changes in my life to trigger anything. There was nothing bad going on. But one day it was like a switch flipped in my brain. I don't know how else to say it because nothing else changed, just me. I thought that maybe it was just a funk. Maybe it was just one bad day, and then it turned into 2 bad days, and then it was a week, and then it was a couple weeks, and it just kept getting worse and worse and carrying on longer and longer. And at first I wasn't that worried because usually when this happens, it'll hit me for a few days, maybe a week, maybe a couple of weeks. I have had it last longer, but I was very concerned because this time it hit me pretty severely. So not only was this lasting a lot longer than what I'm generally used to, the severity of my depression and my anxiety was reaching new levels that I didn't know how to cope with, and I didn't know how to deal with, and the people that care about me didn't know how to deal with it, and I didn't know how to help myself. I like to think of myself as a fairly happy person, as an optimistic person. It was very tough for me to deal with, and sometimes I think people think that people that suffer from depression or suffer from anxiety are negative people, or they're people that just sort of, I don't know, just hold on to sad, negative details in their life, but some of us are actually very positive, happy people a lot of times. But when we do suffer from depression, we can't control it. We can try. I know for me, I do everything I can trying to pull myself out of it. I will force myself to go out and hang out with people. I will force myself to talk to people. And there are some days I just couldn't force any of it. And it seemed like nothing I was doing was working. Nothing was making me feel better. There were days where all I wanted to do was sleep the entire day, and then I would go whole nights without sleeping because my anxiety was so bad I couldn't get my heart to slow down long enough for me to fall asleep. I would wake up in the middle of the night because something, and maybe something I was dreaming, triggered an anxiety attack, and I would wake up crying and feeling like my heart was going to jump out of my chest, and I felt my whole body shaking from this panic attack. And I would wake up to these sometimes for several nights, and I was exhausted, and that made me even more depressed. Sometimes if I kept myself really, really busy, I could simulate feeling somewhat content if I could really just focus on something and had to be very hands-on. I was falling behind in my homework because I couldn't focus on my homework long enough to get it done. I was trying and I'd usually end up falling asleep or having to get up and pace or do something to deal with my anxiety or my low levels from depression. It's very difficult feeling like your anxiety takes you up here and your depression is trying to pull you down here, and your body and your brain just feels like it's constantly at odds with one another. And there were days I just absolutely didn't know how to function. I stopped talking to my friends, not because I didn't love them, not because I didn't miss them, not even because I didn't want to talk to them. It was like I didn't know how. These people, and you guys know them as the Bibliothon girls, and they're my best friends. I didn't know how to talk to them. I didn't know how to be in the group with them. And I wanted to know what was going on in their lives. I wanted to talk to them, and I didn't know how. The idea of being in a group situation, even if it was just in a Facebook chat like we always have going, I felt almost overwhelmed at the idea of this little tiny thing with people that I trusted, people that I've talked to every single day for at least 2 years now, overwhelmed me. And I didn't know how to make it better. It made it even harder feeling separated from my friends, even though I was basically doing it to myself. I didn't know how to bridge that and fix that. And I just basically vanished from them without saying anything because I didn't know how. I didn't know how to talk about it. And every time I thought about trying to tell them something, I would just feel panic because I felt panic over a lot of things. We're also renovating my house. A lot of my things are in boxes right now, so that makes upcoming filming semi-difficult, but I will figure out a way to manage that. But yes, most of what I own right now are all in boxes as we renovate everything, do new floors, do new paint, furniture, the whole thing. I was cleaning out my room and I was packing my stuff, and I just remember sitting on my floor, and we were making really good progress. I wasn't even feeling overwhelmed with the work. I felt like I was making good progress. I felt like I was getting a lot done, but out of nowhere, I just felt like I was dying. I couldn't breathe. My heart was pounding. I felt like I was suffocating, like I was hyperventilating. And I just ran into my mom, and she looked at me and she was like, "Are you okay?" And my eyes are wide and I could barely talk because I couldn't breathe. And I was like, "I think I'm having a panic attack." And I felt horrible. I felt like everything was in overdrive, but also dying at the same time. Somehow, my mom, being the angel that she is, knew exactly what to do. She dragged me outside, basically, and we got outside, and I thought that she was going to ask me how I was feeling, what was going on. She didn't do that. She started talking about the plants. She started talking about the plants and the flowers and such small talk. She didn't let me focus on the fact that I was having a panic attack. She didn't do any of the things that I would have expected anybody to do. She just didn't. She just started talking to me about basically nothing. And at first I thought it was weird, but I just listened and couldn't really talk back at this point, but I listened to her and listened to her just keep talking to me about the plants. Finally, like, she saw that I was calming down a little bit and she came over and she just hugged me. That was how that went until I had calmed down and I felt better. And I don't know how that situation would have gone if my mom wasn't there and she didn't do like exactly what I needed someone to do, and how she knew exactly what to do. I couldn't tell you, but it meant everything to me. My mom has honestly helped me a lot through these couple of months. I am so lucky because not everybody is lucky enough to have one person that just gets it. I would start crying for no reason. Anytime I just felt horrible, I was struggling to be happy about something that she was talking about. Like, she didn't hold it against me. She didn't judge me for it. She didn't think that, like, I was being rude or insensitive, like sometimes people tend to think. You know, she just got it that I couldn't help it. I'm lucky to have her. I am. Some of my friends checked in occasionally, and it was nice. I don't know. It's nice to know that people care, even if you can't always appreciate it to the fullest extent when you're in that state of mind. Because when you're in that state of mind, you know you're loved. Like, on a logical level, I never forgot that I was loved and that people care. My hair's getting crazy again. Somehow, even though you know you have people that care and you know that you have people that love you, you just feel alone. You feel like you're just not good enough. Sometimes you really want to connect with people. You feel so alone that you want to reach out and connect with people and you don't know how. And you're worried that if you do try, that what if it doesn't go how you need it to go? What if they don't give you that connection that you're craving? Or worse, they try to tell you how to fix it when that's not what you need. You need somebody to just be there. You don't always need people's advice. You sure as hell don't need people judging you. And I've had that happen. I've had that happen where I've reached out and got put down for feeling how I feel, like I somehow can control it, because I promise you, nobody wants to feel like this. Nobody wants to feel like your skin is crawling, like you have this rain cloud over your head constantly that you don't know how to shoo away and get rid of. Nobody wants to feel like that. I really did. I was trying really hard to pull myself out of it. It just wasn't working. It wasn't working. And now things are starting to get better. I am starting to feel better. That's why I'm starting to post videos again. I started reading again, getting caught up on my homework little by little, but it's happening. And I'm trying to make conscious efforts. And sometimes I still have my bad days. I will not say that this episode is 100% over, but it is getting better. I'm currently still figuring out how I need to deal with these in the future and to deal with this now, because I feel like it's important to take those steps that you might need for yourself to try and improve this. And I'm still working on that. I'm deciding if I need to talk to somebody on a professional level, what I need to do for myself to make things better, and what kind of treatments or counseling or anything else that might improve everything. I'm still looking into that. I'm still working on that. Every day is another step, and I do actively try to help myself. I do. Some days are better than others. Now I'm having more good days than bad, and I think that's a lot of progress, considering that I would have several days where I barely got out of bed for anything but work, and that was only because I needed money. So I feel like I'm doing a lot better than I have been. I wanted to tell you guys because I know so many of you, and I've talked to you guys about this in the past. I've talked to you guys about this, and I want you guys to know that I go through this too. I don't just say it, but it's real for me, and it's serious. It's a very serious issue for anyone to go through, and you guys are not alone. And you guys remind me so often when I do talk about this that I'm not alone, even when I feel alone. And that's why I feel like I can post this video and talk to you guys about this. I know you guys understand, and I know you guys relate, and maybe not everybody watching this will understand. Everybody has their own battles, their own struggles, their own life, and sometimes you're going to get those people that don't understand and will judge you in some way, or might not respect that your struggles might be different from theirs. But I feel like overall, relating to those of you that do understand makes it worth it, and it makes it worth anybody that might not. But I love you guys. I am going to try and start posting consistently again. I just started a new series for October for book-related Halloween costumes, so you guys can learn to dress up as some of your favorite characters. I have already posted a video where I've dressed up as Louisa Clark, so definitely check that out and check out that series. But I am going to try and put a very big effort into posting regularly again, because I miss you guys and I love you guys, and I really thought about you so much, and I thought about BookTube so much, and I would still check on everyone. I would check people's Twitters because I still wanted to feel involved with you guys. I just could not in good conscience put content up when my heart just wasn't in it. I needed to work on myself before I could be back out here and talking to you guys again. I needed to sort things out up here, and it's a process. It is a process, and I'm still always going to have my good days and my bad days, and sometimes those are going to be really long good periods and really long bad periods. It's just how it is. I'm happy to be feeling better, and I'm happy to be back talking to you guys, because I really did miss you guys. I missed making videos and discussing books and things with you guys, and I have been reading a lot more again. I think that that was an early warning sign that I might have been heading toward an episode, because I really wasn't reading. I wasn't happy reading. There was nothing I wanted to read. I had no interest in anything. And reading was very, very difficult for me. I started to worry. I was like, oh my God, what if I don't like reading anymore? What do I do? I still love reading. I just needed to take care of me first before I started doing the things that I loved again. And now I'm reading quite a bit and still working on getting back into my main flow of reading, but reading a lot more than I have been. And that's been making me feel better. And I feel like that's been aiding in my progress. So I guess that's it. That's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. Maybe you guys didn't notice I was gone. Maybe you did and were curious. But I wanted to be honest with you guys. I really wanted to talk about this with you guys because you guys are awesome and you never fail to make me feel better in these situations. And I want you to know that you're not alone. I love you guys and we're in this together. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.